Welcome home, Hopeful Tribe. I'm so glad you came back. And if this is your first time here, know that you've just entered a community where you can receive comfort, coping skills, and coaching whenever you need it. Today's episode is all about how to create more downtime. Did you ask, what is downtime? Is downtime a foreign concept to you? Have you never heard this word? Well, if that's true, you really need to stick around and find out what it is, how you can get more of it, and why it's important. I have this quote hanging on the bulletin board right in front of my desk so that I never forget how important downtime is. This is by Gertrude Stein. It takes a lot of time being a genius. You have to sit around so much doing nothing. And I believe that she was talking about the need for downtime. It's absolutely essential no matter what you do, no matter what your work is. But I've found, especially when I'm doing creative work, I need my downtime or I can't create. It's especially important when it comes to creating. However, I think that no matter what you do, there needs to be more downtime in your life in order for you to be productive, optimally productive. So, what is downtime? Downtime is sit and stare time. It's time for unfocused daydreaming. It's time to just chill. Sometimes I'll play music, but never will I practice music as part of my downtime because practicing indicates some kind of goal, and goals are not allowed during downtime. There should be minimal brain processing during your downtime. Things like taking a walk in nature or even just washing dishes. I know that's a thing, that's a productive thing, but sometimes I can just get lost in washing dishes, and it certainly isn't difficult. So it feels like downtime to me. Let's make sure we're clear. Downtime is not going to a museum, meeting with a friend, watching TV, playing video games, scrolling social media. None of these things are downtime because they require brain processing. So, downtime is really just this dreamy time when you're not trying to accomplish anything, when your brain can rest. So, I want to share with you this article in the Harvard Business Review called The Upside of Downtime by Jackie Coleman and John Coleman. I'll put the link down in the video description box. So, in this article, Jackie and John, who are married, talk about why downtime is so important. And I want to share the highlights from this article. The upside to downtime. Let's talk about it. In this article, they mention 5 key reasons why downtime is so important. And I really encourage you going to the link in the video description after this so that you can see the studies they reference, because this is evidence-based information. So, number 1, increases productivity and focus. So, some studies have shown that when we're allowed to give our brain a rest, it actually has the paradoxical effect of helping us to become more focused and more productive. So tell your boss they really want you to take a break so that you'll be more focused and productive. Number 2, restores energy. It's really important if you have a lot of stuff on your plate, to actually get your energy restored. Sometimes the most important downtime is just sleeping. I think that a lot of us trade sleep for solitude or time to work on our own personal projects, but sleep is so important and restorative. And being awake but unfocused also boosts your energy, just like a good night's sleep. It's amazing. Sometimes, if I'm feeling like scattered, it happened while I was trying to figure out which video topic to address this week. I started to get all befuddled in my head and nothing was clicking. And then I just gave myself 5 minutes to go out in the garden and put my hands in the soil. And then I realized downtime, that's what we have to talk about. Totally restorative, not productive brain rest time. That's what we need more of. Number 3, restores perspective. When we take breaks and give our brain a rest, when we come back to our work, we actually remember why it's important to do what we're doing and can help us remember our priorities. I mean, our perspective gets really muddled in our heads without enough downtime. Number 4, and I referenced this earlier, it unleashes creativity like nothing else. In fact, I find I cannot be creative while I'm too task oriented. I have to clear my mind in order to get into a creative space. It's just how our brains work. And lastly, but not least, it improves our mental, physical, and social health. So we'll feel better physically and emotionally, and our relationships will improve, it turns out, if we have more downtime. So, how's that? I think that's a pretty important reason to give yourself more downtime. And now for the hard part, how do we get more downtime? Why downtime is essential for brain health. I found this article on the Cleveland Clinic website. I'll also leave a link to this down in the video description. This article was written by Scott B. Sidey. He starts out, in our culture, downtime can sound like a dirty word. Remember what I've said before about people in this country belonging to the Church of Hard Work and Suffering? That's what he's referencing. He says, have you ever gotten stuck doing a crossword puzzle, set it aside, and came back to solve it easily after a break? That's no accident. Our brains are like sponges, says Dr. B. They can only soak up so much information before they're saturated. Then they have to dry out a bit. He also talks about the default mode network, which is a part of your brain that's affected when you get some rest. And this default mode network is the area of the brain that is linked to things like ethics, memories, creativity, and how we define our sense of self. So, most importantly in this article, I think, were his tips to help you create more downtime. Number 1, schedule it. If your agenda is chock full, it's hard to let your brain relax and recharge. Try to squeeze in a few minutes each day for downtime. How much you can handle depends on your schedule and temperament. Dr. B says, start with a few minutes a day and add more as you get into the habit. Number 2, plan when to worry. If you spend your mind-wandering moments stressing over problems, it's not exactly restorative. Filling our downtime with worry is not to our advantage, Dr. B says. Set aside a set time each day to worry. If you find yourself worrying during other times, like mind-wandering moments, remind yourself to postpone the stress until its regularly scheduled appointment. Like all things, that gets easier with practice. Number 3, set the stage. If you find it hard to be idle with your thoughts, try guiding them. A mindfulness app can help you tune into your surroundings or wander through some pleasant childhood memories and see where they lead you. Dr. B suggests you can create a plan for these healthy brain experiences. Number 4, have good sense. Having trouble daydreaming without dwelling on your troubles? Pay attention to your senses rather than your thoughts. Listen to the birds or focus on the scent of a candle. Number 5, practice. Some people don't need a nudge to get lost in a daydream, but for many others, embracing downtime takes getting used to. That's okay. Over time, we get better and better, and we start to recover something important and restorative for our brains. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe.